Alrighty. So, just I guess the uniform
Yeah.
situation. Can we kind of go into that?
Sure, sure, absolutely.
What exactly was going on?
Yeah. So here's what happened. In previous years in the Southland Conference, we would send a request to wear the gray uniform, and the Southland Conference head of officials, Byron Boston, would take it over and contact the schools that we were going to play and make sure it was okay. So we have worn those this year on the road before. We sent the thing off to our league. They okayed it for the Lamar game. Since there's crossover officiating, that's where it got bundled. Our league had sent me a response back. I didn't read it properly. It's my fault. And just very disappointing. That rule's put in place for some reasons where there's contrast in the jersey, but certainly there was you could clearly tell the two teams apart.
And obviously we could sit here for hours talking about that.
But sure.
When you think about, I guess, from your perspective, what type of impact did that have on the team's ability to, go out there and potentially get a win, or just what type of impact did it have on the team knowing that something like that was happening in the first place?
Well, I think obviously they were very upset, which it's good. That's what you want them to be. I was upset. We were all upset. I honestly, I think we tried to make it as a positive. And we did, and I just told them before the game, we're not going to let 30 yards of penalties and 4 timeouts define who we are today. I personally don't think that's why we lost the football game. Lack of execution. We didn't play with a lot of energy like we have this year. But yeah, it was certainly a frustrating incident and a disappointing incident, and something we got to learn from moving forward.
Okay, and then I think to the game itself. So it felt like, once again, got a couple things going in the beginning, but then it started to fade a little while as the game continued. So from your perspective, when it comes to both sides of the ball, what is it as simple as saying we need to execute better here in the second quarter, in the second half, to make sure that we don't have these issues later in the game? Or, what can potentially be done either on the sidelines, in the locker room, whatever, to be able to make sure that the second half comes out better than the first half?
Yeah, I'll be honest. That was the most disappointed I've been in our team this year. And that's the most disappointed they've been in themselves. You go back and you watch the film, our execution was just horrific. Guys doing things, making mistakes that they haven't made all year on the same plays, same coverages. That was the overlying theme. We looked tired. We seemed sluggish. I've talked to our team about that. Why? How? Is there things we could potentially do to correct that? But that was the biggest thing. I mean, and if you talk to the players, they would tell you the same thing. They were very disappointed too. So execution, when you talk about X's and O's schemes, that stuff's all important, but it's got to start with fundamentals of alignment, assignment, snap count, knowing where you're going, alignment, assignment, technique. And I mean, we threw all that out the window. So when you start talking about schematics and things of that nature, it's kind of a moot point if you can't line up and just do the fundamentals, block, tackle, play with energy, intensity. Football's a game of violence. I mean, you have to be physical in all facets of the game, and we didn't do that Saturday.
And then I think it's got to put a different spin on it potentially. Out of all the things that you didn't like, was there something that you saw that you liked that you would like to build on, or something you think could bloom into something better moving forward for this game?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, again, just that competitive maturity theme. It's like the thing that I want to build on is how disappointed guys were in themselves. It wasn't a deal that we really had to point out too much. And, you can sense your guys the next morning. It was hard. We had our plane delayed. We didn't get back till, I think, 4:30 in the morning. And so to see guys coming in Sunday night and just talking to them, and after they had time to watch it, just to the disappointment that they had, I say that in a positive because I think those are things you can build on. One of the great things is you feel as a coach is when you're you don't win a football game and it's not you having to get in and nitpick at things. That's positive. Again, I thought our offensive line from a protection standpoint, I thought was pretty good. But again, if you look at how we ran the ball, how we executed on offense, how we stopped the run, those were just, there wasn't a lot of positive things there.
All right. And then I guess final thing for me, coming back home, Lamar, a team that you guys already beat this year. How important from the last couple of games specifically would it be to come back to Wildcat Stadium and get a win against a familiar opponent like Lamar?
Yeah, it's huge. Our guys are very locked into the week and what it means. Obviously, homecoming is a very important deal at any university. It's very important to our football program. I've tried to really highlight that since I've been here. We talked yesterday. There's two things that we need to do this week: is stay out of the shenanigans involved in homecoming and win the football game. That's our job, and our guys are very, very, very excited about that. They've been very thankful for the crowds that we've had. We feel like our student fans, just the support we've had at home games is good. And, obviously they're very disappointed last week and they want to get out and try to get that bad taste out of their mouth. So we're very excited. We had a great practice yesterday. Again, we talked about the 24-hour rule. I was looking for that yesterday. Our guys were positive, upbeat. We learned, and now we're moving on. And we're very excited to play Saturday. It's our first day game. And I know you guys probably laugh at that, but college football players like playing in the day, and it's supposed to be a beautiful 70-something degrees, and it's nice school. It's going to really start feeling like football, so we're really excited.
Awesome. Well, Coach, thank you. And
yeah.
Record, afternoon games are a lot easier for me.
Yeah.
So you talked about what practices are like have been this week. So what has practice been like this week preparing for this game against Lamar, who y'all guys beat a few weeks ago, 56-0?
Yeah, it's there's a couple things. So they had a bye after we played them, and then they played Sam Houston State this week. I think the thing that I really tried to highlight with them Monday before we went out on the practice field, I had the clip of our game. There was 2 minutes left before half, and it was just 14-0. So it's not like we were setting the world on fire offensively by any means. I thought our defense would play good. And then last week, with only 8 minutes left against Sam Houston State, the defending national champion, it was 27-7. So regardless of their record, regardless of how we played them the first time, it just, I've tried to get into our guys that's going to have no bearing on this game. One of the difficult things with playing teams twice, it's that fine line of what you use from the game plan the first time compared to what you try to change and tweak. Obviously, we saw some new things from them at Sam Houston State last week. So that's been the theme for us, taking what we saw new last week, offense and defensively, getting that to our guys, and then trying to maybe look at some things that we did against them or they did against us that they might try to capitalize on again and going in there. So it's been a fun week for our guys, coaches, scheming, and players, and a little bit of a challenge for our guys too.
Kind of talking on the familiarity with Lamar, Peyton has played fantastically when you've utilized him in the running game.
Yeah.
He had 107 and 6 attempts versus Lamar last time. What can you say about just his ability coming in those situations running?
Yeah, he's doing a great job. Again, it starts with me, and I don't want to sound like a broken record. I'm very appreciative of him and his approach and his leadership on how he's doing everything right now. He's preparing like he's the starter, and that's, you follow football enough, that's not always the case for the backup quarterback, the backup punter, the backup kicker. Those can be hard positions to do that at. So we're going to continue to try to build his package. We have some play action passes that he's capable of running too. We haven't had to run those yet, so to speak, or hadn't had an opportunity to present itself. So it's just a little bit bigger piece that we build on each week. We try to change the formation. The good thing, though, is if you look at his running game, he's running our pin and pull series, he's running off tackle series, he's running inside zone, he's running outside zone, and he's throwing our RPOs too. So it's not just one thing he's doing when he comes in, which is awesome.